Hey everyone, hope you're all having a great day today. I wanted to talk about eclipses, earthquakes, etc. Everything, a lot of words beginning with the letter E for some reason. But anyway, I wanted to kind of talk about what's been going on in the world right now because you see everyone talking about it on YouTube. And if you guys have been here long enough, you guys know that I really don't ever talk about the end days, the rapture, all of that kind of stuff. And the reason being is because one, try to live like Jesus could come at any moment and just try to live like that. Because I feel like if you spend so much time focusing on dates and etc. and signs, what's a sign, what's not a sign, for me personally, I feel like it takes my attention away from what I could be doing here and now, which is what I try to do more of, is just live in the moment and do what I can with the time that I'm given. That's just a personal thing. I think it's very good to have an awareness of what's going on in the world and to be aware of the times that we're living in. Again, there are people who have channels dedicated to that. That's not how I feel like I am called to run my channel. For me, it's literally just to preach the gospel and hopefully reach people who have been hurt by the church or people who, have had misconceptions about how God really is and how much he actually loves them. But regardless, regarding all these eclipses and earthquakes and signs and end days hype, could Jesus come back on April 4th? He could. Could he not? He could not. Really, only two things could happen on April 4th, on this eclipse. Either Christ comes back and awesome, great, we get to go home. Or two, he doesn't. We're still here. There's a reason for that. And God will be with us through it. And that's great. So no matter what happens, it's going to be good. No matter what happens, God is going to be with us. And I want to say that because I feel like there's going to be a lot of fear surrounding this time. There might actually be fear surrounding it already. I feel like a lot of us who are alive right now have seen a lot of end times dates come and then pass. And I'm not saying that to invalidate, the date that's approaching. But again, like I said before, my arm is always feeling not so hot. I've been trying to work out my shoulders more because I have apparently a loose rotator cuff. Sorry, side note. So I've been trying to actually work that muscle out because I guess I don't do that enough. So I've been doing that more. So now my arms have been a little bit sore, or my shoulder's been a little bit sore. But that's a good thing. It means it's getting stronger. But the thing is that, again, I want to talk about this because, like I said before, I feel like there's probably a lot of fear surrounding this date. And again, while I think it's important to be aware of the times we're living in and be aware of, what's going on in the world, I think it's important to not obsess over it and focus so hard. And remember that if we're still here, there's a reason for it. So let's just try to do what we can with the time that we're given and keep doing our thing, knowing that God's going to be with us through all of it. I know that's easier said than done. I know it's very hard sometimes when you have all of this hype coming at you from all different directions and things going on in the world. But one thing that I wanted to make mention of really quick also, I think that God is definitely, speaking through everything that's going on right now. But I'm reminded of what happened in 2017. If you guys remember, in 2017 or 2018, there was a really bad hurricane season. I remember hurricane season that year was really bad in particular. I remember it was my sophomore year of undergrad. And I remember my best friend Isa, actually, you guys who have been here for a while remember her. She was telling me how her pastor from back at home was saying how there's been so much natural disaster, but there haven't been that many deaths with the hurricane season. There were a lot of hurricanes and bad hurricanes, but there wasn't that high of a death toll. And she was saying how it's God is speaking, God is after people's souls, not after their lives. He wasn't taking lives. Rather, people were experiencing loss, and people oftentimes will turn to God in times of loss. So this earthquake that just happened was a very safe earthquake, thank God. I mean, I don't think anyone was actually really hurt by it. To my knowledge, I think everyone was pretty safe. It was more of a startling event because it happened in a place where people don't normally get earthquakes. So I think that it definitely shook people up. Some people didn't even feel it. They wouldn't have even known about it if it hadn't been for social media. But regardless, people are aware that this happened. People are aware there was an earthquake in a place that there aren't normally earthquakes. They do happen, but not all the time. So I think that, again, it's kind of all of these things are clicking and, hopefully helping people to kind of be aware of what's going on, if you know what I mean. Again, I don't set dates. I'm not someone who tries to pay too much attention to that. I do believe that God is speaking. I do believe that I personally believe that we will be alive for Christ's return. When is that necessarily? I'm not sure. I always feel bad whenever people ask me about end times over like email or Zoom or etc. because I really don't study it that much. So I never want to speak on something that I haven't studied. Like I'm an expert. I don't want to promote any misinformation, but, I do believe that we are in, the times that we're in, and I believe that, God is speaking. And so I think that that's exciting. I think it's something to help us remain sober-minded. Do I think it's something that we should be super anxious about and nervous and scared? Absolutely not. Because no matter what happens, whether we leave or whether we're still here, God is going to be with us. So anyway, I hope that this helps whoever needed to hear this. I hope this hopefully calms some people's minds. I know, again, easier said than done. But anyway, if you guys have any comments, questions, or concerns, do not ever hesitate to leave me a comment down below or shoot me an email at my email address, which will be right down here. Also, if you guys have any prayer requests, let me know of those as well. If you guys want to join our Discord, send me an email and I will send you a link to join. And as always, have a lovely rest of your day and God bless.